So if you're new to consulting and starting your own consulting business, I have a very important question for you. Do your clients trust you? Might sound like an odd question, but I'll explain coming right up. So why am I asking about trust? Well, trust to me is the number one currency in business, and the fastest way to destroy a consulting business, or the easiest way to never get a consulting business started in the first place, is if there is a lack of trust between you and your clients. As a management consultant, we often call ourselves professional advisors, trusted advisors. You're giving advice to your clients, maybe providing solutions to your clients, which could have an impact on their business, really significant impact. I mean, some of the work that we do supports our clients in helping them make multi-million-dollar decisions. They've got to trust you. So what does that mean and what does it look like? So there's a number of elements of trust. You have to earn it, put it that way. I think you've probably heard this saying before, it takes a long time to earn trust and you can lose it just like that. So, if there's one thing you have to protect in your management consulting business, it's your integrity and the trust of your clients. Never, ever let that be undermined. Let that almost dictate all of the decisions you make in your business. And actually, I'll share a couple of decisions that cost me a lot of money, but it was important from a trust perspective. Okay, so what are we talking about? What are the elements of trust? I mentioned this, I think, on a couple of other videos, but do not take on things that you cannot deliver for your clients. Your clients are putting a lot of trust in you to provide advice, solutions, whatever it is that you do. And if you can't provide it and you screw up their business, that's just an appalling outcome. So if you don't feel confident to help the client in what they need, don't take it on. There will be other clients, and they will value that. I've said that a couple of times in the last year or so with clients. They've asked, could you help us with this? And I said, look, we probably could, but it's not really core to what we do. And they said, oh, that's fine. I appreciate your honesty. And they get someone else to do that particular thing, and then they come straight back for what we can do. So, don't take on what you can't do. That is really, really important. Always have your clients' interests at heart. Now, I don't mean that you're going to go to the ends of the earth, providing resources to them at no cost and things like that. But always ask yourself, while you're doing your work, is this outcome, is this solution going to be in the client's best interest? If it's not, what can you do to make it a better outcome for them? Or why are you pursuing a particular solution if it's not in their best interest? You're their trusted advisor. You've got to make sure that you have their back and you're always thinking of their interests almost before your own. The other thing, which I think is really important, is be fair with pricing. I've seen some weird stuff over the years, and you sort of, clients are not stupid, particularly if you're working with big corporates. They appreciate that maybe your services are not that cheap. They get that. But they do have an understanding of what consultants charge, and they may have been using consultants quite a lot over the years, and suddenly you hit them with a price on a proposal that's way out, that they're going to wonder. I sometimes smile when you get all of these consulting gurus on YouTube, and they talk about value pricing, and I've had those. I've hired a lot of consultants myself. I get consultants helping me in my business, and it really disappoints me when they say, oh, look, if we could help you do this, and it was going to save you, pick a number, $100,000 a year, what would that be worth to you to save? And I can see exactly where they're going. The value pricing, so it would be worth $20,000, wouldn't it? And I'm thinking, no, because it's only 2 days' work. It's probably worth 2 or 3. I'm not stupid. So, be fair with your pricing. And just be a little bit wary, I think, sometimes of value pricing. let me flip that. So I'm going to ramble here with a few examples, and I've also got an itchy nose. Only once have I paid a consultant on value pricing, and I have to be careful how I put this. I paid a consultant $20,000 an hour 20 years ago to help me with something because they were the only person who could fix it, and it was going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars that it was going to save me. So I've done it once. Winning clients is hard enough, trying to win new clients, and you don't want to lose them by breaking their trust. So let me give you a couple of examples. You know, these are real life, not bullshit examples, of decisions that I made that I felt were quite natural. You might think, whoa, that was a big call. Not for me. So one instance where I think we had a potential project. We had a project with a client that was potentially going to be between $1 and $2 million in professional fees. And the client said to me, do you want to bid for this work? And hand on heart, I thought, we're probably not the best people to do it. We can absolutely do it, but there may be better people to do this. And I said to the client, do you want us to bid for that? And the client said, actually, I'd rather you helped me with this bit of work. And the two, I can't sort of say too much for confidentiality, but the two projects were fairly well linked. The project he wanted me to do was, you know, a couple of $100,000 in fees. And I said, if you're going to find that more value, we'll do that one for you. That was, you know, probably 5 years ago, and we're still working with the client. And he said, you know, that's great, because I think, you know, the value you're going to deliver on this one will be so much better. I can get other people to do this bigger project. And it was the right call, because the people who did that big project probably did it a lot better than we could. So, you know, that's where you've got to have that level of trust and honesty and openness with your client that you can have those sort of discussions. Another one, different client, where we were doing quite a large project. It was hundreds of thousands, close to $1 million project. And it was done in sort of lots of different parts. Let's say the project consisted of 20 parts, and the overall fees were close to $1 million. And then for whatever reason, we didn't need to do all the 20 parts. We were able to get the job done more effectively, and let's say for argument's sake, we didn't need to do the last 2 or 3 bits. And so I sent an email to the client. I said, oh, look, you know, that was the original quote. We don't have to put the time and resources into this project that we thought we would. So I've asked accounts to give you a refund of close to $100,000. You know what his response was? It was, I wasn't going to ask, but I had a sense that, you know, it was probably going to come in under the original quote. And I'm so glad, you know, that you offered that. And then he came back and said the whole team was so impressed by the fact that you had the honesty and the integrity to sort of say, you know, we've been able to do this work a little bit quicker. It's not going to cost as much. You know, here's a refund, if you like. Still working with that client too, 10 years later. So those are the sorts of things I'm talking about. And it, you know, that's how you build a trusting relationship. You know, I've had other clients where they'll say, oh, look, we've got this really urgent job to do. And I would only do this with a long-term client that we had a very good relationship with. You know, we've got this issue, we need some help. Can you start right away? And we've never even written a proposal. You know, so that we haven't agreed what the price is, but we just get stuck in, and then maybe a few days later, as we're starting to understand the scope of the work and we're getting into it, I say, oh, you know, by the way, John, this is probably, you know, 30,000 in fees or something like that. And they go, yeah, no problem. Because the trust in the relationship is such, he knew that I wasn't going to rip him off, that it was going to be a fair price. You know, our initial impetus, our priority was to get in, start helping them with that particular issue. We'll worry about the financials later. That's what I'm talking about. When you have that level of trust with a client, that's the sort of relationship that you get. And that is so valuable, you know. It takes a while, but that's the sort of thing you want to aim for. So right from the start, with your very first client, I would implore you, Start building that relationship on a foundation of trust. That's so, so important. Okay, have I got a last note? I doubt, yeah. I've got a note down here which says, consulting is hard enough, it's hard to win new clients. Don't lose them by breaking their trust in you. If they lose their trust in you, you've lost a client like that, and they're probably going to tell other people. So trust, that's why it's so important. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the video, do hit like, do comment, do ask questions. I love to answer all the questions. And if you're not subscribed, please do. The more subscribers I see, the more videos I'll do. I don't have a lot of time, I'm afraid, so I don't publish quite as many videos as I would like to, but if I see there's lots of activity on the channel, then that'll encourage me to jump in and put some more videos up. We're particularly busy in our consulting company at the moment, so apologies if there aren't quite as many videos as I would hope to put out. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.